Good evening, good evening, good evening. This is Dr. Betty Smith. I am the medical director for Akana. I'm an Emerald Dispensary owner. Let me see, what else do I do? And I am a wellness coach and the director for our brand new Soul Massage Spa and Infrared Center. And so tonight we are doing the product overview with the wellness experts. And tonight we're going to field some, field some questions. And some of the things I'd like to talk about are, or see if you guys have any questions about CBD. And I'd like to know what else you might have questions about, but I do want to definitely see if you have questions about CBD so that, because I'd really like for everybody to know exactly what we have here at Akana and what we don't have and what the benefits, the real health benefits of our products are, and specifically tonight, CBD. So with that being said, I'd like to know, do you guys have questions?
Dr. Betty,
Yes, Betty.
do the CBD, it's a lot of customers kind of, I don't know, they kind of question CBD.
Mhm.
I don't know, they're afraid or just because of the name CBD, and I don't know what it is, but can you kind of elaborate on why you think they question CBD?
So, well, number one is that many people do not know the difference between CBD and THC. They don't know the difference between
Right.
hemp, and they don't need to know the difference between hemp and marijuana. When we say
Right.
CBD, many people's brains go immediately to, go immediately to marijuana and getting high. And so that is
Amen. Amen.
that's pretty much where that comes from. And so that is the importance of each and every one of us knowing what it is we have at Akana, what we, the products that we do sell. It's imperative that you know that we only sell hemp products, hemp being one species of cannabis. So you've got cannabis here, then you've got hemp here, and you've got marijuana here. Marijuana is the female plant, hemp is the male plant. Marijuana is high in THC or delta tetra, I can never say, tetrahydrocannabinol. And that is the part of the plant that gets you high. And so marijuana does actually have a small amount of CBD incorporated into it. But again, the predominant cannabinoid in marijuana is THC, and that's primarily what we're familiar with. You know, back in the day, the musicians, you know, smoking reefer, and then, you know, as time progressed, more and more people started smoking reefer, weed, marijuana, that kind of thing. And I remember, oh my gosh, I can't even remember how many years ago, but I can remember seeing on the news where the the feds went out into the marijuana fields, the cannabis fields, and they burned all the marijuana, because since the late, I want to say the late 30s, marijuana was deemed a dangerous drug that had no medicinal properties and had no positive benefits to it. It was looked at as like a gateway drug to the use of harder drugs like cocaine and heroin and that kind of thing. And so that became the view of marijuana. But did you know that hemp, the male part of the plant, is high in CBD, which is the part that gets you healthy, not high? Did you know, or do you remember, that our body actually produces two endocannabinoids, 2-AG and anandamide being called the bliss hormone? So yes, our bodies produce the two cannabinoids, endocannabinoids, endo meaning inside. But because of the stress we live under, because of the eco pollution, because of our poor diets and poor posture and hectic lifestyles, et cetera, our bodies cannot make enough of these cannabinoids to actually activate the receptor sites that we have in our bodies for cannabinoids. So we have receptors in all of our major organs, like our eyes, our brain, our heart, our lungs, our intestines, our major organs. But we also have receptors throughout our body on the periphery and they're all looking for CBD. And so we just don't have enough. And so the job of the endocannabinoid system is to regulate and modulate all of our other systems, those systems being the nervous system, the respiratory system, the cardiovascular system, the reproductive system, the endocrine system, and on and on and on, musculoskeletal system. And so it's, like I said, its job is to modulate and regulate those, to keep them functioning at their maximum capacity so that our bodies can maintain a state of homeostasis or balance. And when that occurs, all of those systems can function again at their maximum capacity, which means that they can heal, regulate, and regenerate themselves. Our bodies can do that.
Okay.
And so when those receptor sites in the endocannabinoid system are not activated because they're not getting enough cannabinoids to hook up with that like lock and key to make the endocannabinoid system fully functional, when that does not occur, then those other systems are functioning at a disadvantage, and they are not able to perform at their maximum capacity. That means that they're not able to do the things that they're capable of doing. And so what happens is those systems start to dysfunction, degenerate, And that manifests itself as disease, dysfunction, and degeneration diseases, the high blood pressure, diabetes, asthma, thyroid problems, lupus, arthritis, and on and on and on, digestive problems, because those systems, they can't function properly. And so that is the thing that we need to understand. Now, some people say, okay, so you ask, why do people have such a harsh view or lack of understanding? And that's why. And so our job, again, is to really grasp and have a working knowledge of CBD and its function, its benefits, and that kind of thing, so that we can effectively educate the people that we meet, and those customers that we have, and the people that are suffering from diseases and dysfunction, like especially like arthritis and digestive problems and all of it. But if you can't, if you don't understand that for yourself, and you can't articulate it to your customers and your friends and your family, then they continue with those misconceptions about what is really real as it relates to CBD and cannabis, and more specifically, the hemp plant. The other thing is that there are a plethora of CBD products on the market. They are everywhere. They're in the gas station, they're at the grocery store, they're at the pet store, they're at the liquor store, they're at the, what do you call those places? The head shop, and on and on and on and on, the tobacco shop. And so, and they're on the black market. And so because cannabis, and I'll speak more specifically about CBD, is not really regulated by the FDA, then, some people, some companies make all these claims about what it can do, et cetera, what it cures, and, on and on and on. And then you have those in the black market or the underground who we don't know how they're making, making CBD. Some of them are using adulterants like hexane and other substances to extract the CBD from the plant. And many times some of those substances linger in the CBD. So many times you can be, if you don't know the source of your CBD, then people can start to experience problems that they didn't have prior to its use, or can be taking it and not really getting good results, or maybe even no results. And hence, how people talk, oh, I tried that, it didn't work, kind of thing. And so this speaks to the importance of us knowing that, number one, our products are organic in source. Our products are tested by an independent ISO lab, one of the best in the country. And we have certificates of analysis, or COAs, for each and every product that we carry that has CBD in it. And so we are really, I guess you could say, ahead of the game when it comes to being number one, compliant with the laws, and number two, ahead of the curve when it comes to the quality of our products. Yep. And so those are
Dr.
things that
Betty?
you need to know. Wait a minute, let me say this. Those are things that you need to know. And did you know that you can go to your back office and pull up a certificate of analysis and show it to any and everybody? And what do the certificates of analysis say? They prove that what is in our product is exactly what we say is in it and nothing more, nothing less. The certificates of analysis report the milligrams of our products, the milligrams of CBD in our products. They analyze the products for contaminants like mold, mildew, heavy metals, pesticides, herbicides, and any other microbial substances that might serve as contaminants in the product. Let me see, what else can I tell you? Yes, so you can be assured that your products, the products that we sell, are the best of the best of the best. Now, the other stuff out there that you buy at the gas station or, from Joe Blow or wherever else, many of them cannot say that. Most of them cannot say that. So you don't know where they got it from. You don't know what's in it. What was that? Maybe 3-4 years ago, there was a big scare about what did they called it, something lung condition, where people that were vaping were experiencing dysfunction in their lungs. And the FDA actually tested some of those products, and most of those that people were having issues with, it turned out that they were from some, pretty much black market sources. And what they found was some had no CBD in them, some had less than they purported to have, some had way more, some had contaminants in them. Some of them had vitamin E in there, which you should never ever heat nor smoke. They found rat poison, all kinds of contaminants. And so, yeah, if you smoke that, if you inhale those things, they are going to cause problems in your body, first of all, in your lungs. And so by knowing our procedures and the quality of our products, then you can feel confident that we aren't having any of that, none of it, because our products are pure and we can prove it. And so once you know that, you can be more confident about, what it is you have to offer. When people start with that, CBD is this and that, and it gets you high and then that, all that, then if you know your products, if you know about the history and the specifics about the laws around CBD and what our products, the processes that our products actually go through, what the sources of our products are, then you that's a, what is it they say? That's, a teaching moment.
So, but Dr. Betty, all I wanted to share on that teaching moment is that I like our Saturday morning presentations that we run,
Mhm.
because the presentation goes through the history of Akana, and then it talks about the flat belly lifestyle and all the products, blood type eating. But then it has a very in-depth description of our products, the
Exactly,
product line, and that happens every Saturday.
exactly.
So that would be a good place too for people to pick up some additional information on a regular basis. So I had just wanted to share that does happen every
Yeah,
Saturday.
thank you. Because, we talk about it on certification. But it's just like anything else, just like we need to sometimes talk to customers, they need to hear it 7 times before they get it. We need to hear things several times before it really, really sinks in. And so that is the benefit of the various calls that we have, the various Zooms that we have, because every time you hear it, you're going to pick up something more. And so you're going to learn a little bit more. And just by asking questions and reviewing the certification presentations, you will, you'll open your mouth one day and all of these facts and information will come out and you'll feel like, wow, I didn't know I knew that, and so that's how it begins. But
Right.
you have to get a foundation, a basis, for your knowledge, your base of knowledge, so that you have something to build on. And that is the purpose, number one, of certification. And then number two, of the various meetings and Zooms and what have you that we have.
Right. And then your certification, the one where Yakima Palmer did the
Exactly.
CBD versus marijuana,
Yeah,
that's on our app.
it is.
And I think it's under trainings. And then Dr. Ross
Dr.
labeled
Kim.
it as CBD 101 or something like that.
Mhm.
So that's really, I send that out to customers sometimes because it's only like 8 minutes long. And it explains the difference, just like what you said, the female and the male side of the plant and all that's real easy to use. So that's another resource.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so people are hesitant and what have you about CBD because they don't really know about CBD. All they know is what they heard or what they think, or what somebody else thinks they heard or thinks they know. But you, as an economopreneur, you're supposed to be the expert. That's one of our products, right? So that's how you get to be an expert, is by staying connected, by asking questions, by doing your own due diligence too. You could literally Google the difference between CBD and THC, or the difference between hemp and marijuana, and even gain, some more background information about the products. That answer your
Dr.
That was a long roundabout way, but
Dr. Betty, I have a question for you. I have a customer that asked me, can they give eye gummies, CBD gummies to their dog?
mm, well, it's that I don't know. So I'm hemming and hawing about it because of the sugar content. I've never tasted a dog gummy, so I don't know what they taste like, or what the formulation is. But
Okay.
I know that we can give them our tincture, and we can give them our culinary oils. In fact, I have one
Oh,
customer whose dog has seizures. And she started out with the power culinary oil, because that one doesn't have the peppermint, the turmeric, the black seed in it.
okay.
And then she's got big dogs, she got pit bulls, so she switched to the it's the leader of the culinary oil, the 1,000 milligrams is actually of CBD is actually in that big bottle. It was a little more cost effective for her. So yeah, there you have it. But just like with anything else, yeah, well, I could say you can consult with the veterinarian, but I know the last time I tried to talk to a vet about CBD, which was a couple of years ago, the veterinarian society or whatever didn't want them to deal with it at all. So they were really kind of closed mouth about it. I think that is actually starting to change more. But so I was going to say, you should, just like with people, you should check with your doctor, check with their doctor, and let them know what is going on. But yeah, our products are pure. So you would need dosing information and that kind of thing, which you can literally get on the internet. There are some veterinarians that actually give dosing information about CBD. Okay. Anybody else? You guys are quiet tonight. Okay, so is everybody familiar with our CBD products?
I am.
Okay.
I am. I am.
Awesome.
Mhm.
You know what tickles, I don't know, tickle is a word, but I find it interesting. And that this is typical for people, they'll say, so do you have some CBD for this, that, or the other, for cramps or for menopause or for headaches or, that kind of thing. And so what's the answer to that? Does anybody know? Well,
We
why
don't
don't we?
prescribe.
Yeah.
What did you say? We don't prescribe?
Right.
No.
Mm-mm.
No, we don't prescribe, but no, that's not the answer.
I would say yes.
What did you say, Dolores?
It's either yes or no, right?
Well, yeah, but that's a teachable moment too.
I just tell them certain products like the peppermint oil for headaches, they can try it and see if that works. It's just different products for different stuff.
I would just say that we have products that help put the body back in balance, and that creates overall health.
That's the answer.
All right, Naima.
We don't need That's right. Now, you know, we don't need a CBD for this, for the prostate, for the menopause, for the blood pressure, for diabetes, for because CBD balances the activates the receptor sites in the endocannabinoid system, which activates the oh my goodness. Let me start over. CBD activates the receptor sites within the endocannabinoid system, making it function at its maximum capacity and bring balance and harmony to the entire body. It's called homeostasis. And so the endocannabinoids' job is to regulate and modulate all our other systems. So it brings all of them into harmony or balance. And each of those systems can now function at their maximum capacity. So the immune system starts to function better. The urinary system starts to function better. The respiratory system, the cardiovascular system, that's why people's blood pressure starts to balance out, you know, starts to normalize. The endocrine system, that's why people's diabetes starts to become less prevalent. Their blood sugar levels start to balance out, and so on and so on. Right? That's why women with menopausal symptoms start to experience more balance and less symptomatology, you know, less hot flashes, fewer mood swings and that kind of thing. So.
Driver's license today.
Oh, you did? Okay. Cool.
Yep, so.
That's good. Way in advance for your birthday. But not way in advance.
So, yep, so there you have it.
And
Anybody-
Dr. Betty, excuse
Yes,
me,
ma'am.
one thing that I've been doing is going back into the back office and looking at some of the trainings that Dr. Ross has over and
Exactly.
over and over again,
Yeah.
and it helps with the language, because if you get the language right, you feel easier. And she's got several back there that are not old, but the more we do it, I think if we get the language right, it'll help us too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it increases your confidence.
Mhm.
Margaret was talking about, you know, some of the calls on Saturday, which helped to reinforce and build on even the things that you learn in certification, because you can't learn it all at once. And even during certification, we really try to give the basics about our products, and it's incumbent on you as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, to do your own due diligence. Don't just rely on what we say. You know, like I said, you can Google CBD, you can Google CBD versus THC, hemp versus marijuana, and all of those kind of things, the benefits, the health benefits of CBD, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know what I mean? Okay, anybody else? Okay, so I guess the only other thing that I would like to say about it is the more you know about our products, the products that we do have with CBD, more specifically our Hempranium full spectrum, which means it has all of the cannabinoids, including THC at the legal level of 0.3%. And then we have our broad spectrum, which has 0.000 detectable THC. We used to call it pure, but it is broad spectrum. And that would be for people who have jobs or careers that whereby they might have random drug screens, or the employer is just totally opposed to the use of or the not the use of, but the well, I guess I could say the use of full spectrum CBD and zero tolerance for any THC. There are still agencies that have those kinds of policies. And so for those people, the broad spectrum, which has 0.000 detectable THC, still offers them the same health benefits as the full spectrum the full spectrum CBD. And so even they can gain those health benefits. And then we have we have our gummies, each of which has a varying time frame that they are active and remaining in the bloodstream. And so knowing those variables helps you to make recommendations about how to layer our products for the most effective benefits. And Yakima does an excellent job on identifying those effective times of the various products, the tinctures versus the gummies, versus the smokables. Well, we didn't talk about the smokables, did we? Yep, so we've got those, and then we've got our smokables, which include our vapes, the Hempnotic, as well as the Raspberry Jane. The Hempnotic being a higher milligrammage than the Raspberry Jane. With the Raspberry Jane, it has a lower milligrammage, and so people who feel they need to use the vape more frequently can certainly take advantage of the lower milligrammage in the Raspberry Jane, as opposed to the Hempnotic, which you basically only need several times a day. Some people like to smoke frequently. Some people are even attempting to utilize vaping and or the pre-rolls as a means by which to discontinue cigarette smoking. So those are other options that can be that you need to know about.
I have a question. Previously you had asked if we had certain subjects that we was interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if I missed it, because I said dementia and menopause. Did you ever do those?
No, you know what, we went into, we haven't gotten back to those yet, but we can.
Okay.
We went into the in Endocalyx. We did several weeks of that. And then we did some other things. So yes, I still have them on the list, and yes, we will. Thanks for the reminder. Anybody else? Okay, well, I'm trying to think if there is anything. And so, let me also say this. Now, sometimes we have people that say, yeah, it's helping a little bit, but I'm still having quite a bit of pain, or whatever the symptom might be, discomfort or indigestion or headaches or whatever it might be. And this is where we actually query the person to find out how they are using the products and how much of it they're using. And this is also where the training and the continued education about our products comes into play, especially the education around dosing. Has everybody or has anybody been on that, on our, I want to say YouTube playlist and seen the video on dosing that Dr. Rita did some time ago?
I actually listened to it today.
Oh, okay. How about that? Anybody else?
Dr.
Dr.
Betty,
Betty,
I have.
Who said that?
Dr. Betty,
Yes,
Betty.
Betty. Yes, Betty.
I am so sorry. I guess y'all saw that I had to jump off for a second there.
Oh, no worries.
Yes, okay.
So I was just asking if anybody had the opportunity to review there was a dosing video by Dr. Rita. It's an older one, but it's still valid today. And as econopreneurs and business people, it behooves us to get that information under our belt, because many people, as we engage people and we tell them about our products and they agree to try them, it is, I would say, our responsibility to check in with them to see how they are doing with the product. Are they experiencing the benefits that they had hoped to? And if not, then I think it is in our best interest to, again, to query them and to see what it is they're doing, how much they're taking, how often they're taking it. And this is really where the dosing training and information comes in really, really handy, because everybody's body is different. Everyone's pain tolerance and pain levels are different. In addition to that, if we say take 3 drops twice a day, and that's not really getting them to their sweet spot, then we can encourage them and educate them as to things that they can do to improve their results. And case in point, excuse me, early on, this was before we had trying to remember if we even had water soluble, but this was before we had, we were doing a lot of edibles. And I had a distributor who she had some serious pain going, and she'd be like 8, 9, that kind of thing. And so she started taking the CBD, and after weeks, she still was not getting the results that she wanted to get from the product. She was still having pretty high pain levels, and she was in pain all the time. And so I encouraged her to increase her dosage, little by little, 3 drops at a time. And it did improve, but still she was in pain. And we started having meetings and just kind of mini conferences where we'd have a variety of speakers. And we started doing things like infusing popcorn. Somebody would bake infused cookies. The beverages, we'd put the water soluble in there, and give samples of gummies and that kind of thing. And this particular one we were at, and this was her first one, but I think we must have been there a good 3 hours or so, and just, snacking on these various items and what have you. And when we left, she says, "I'm not in pain." So that, that helped me to realize that everybody, even though I already knew everybody was an individual, but it's so important to find out what is going on with them and how well our products are working for them, and to assist them in tweaking their dosages, and the frequency with which they might be using the product. And then the other thing, excuse me, the other thing I think is really, really, really important is helping them to see, and or begin to think about and understand the benefits of eating right for your blood type. In addition to that, the importance of detoxifying the impurities, detoxing from the impurities that are in our bodies that have been there for a long time. Let me just put it that way. And how that teaching them how that affects the effectiveness of things that you're taking that might be helpful, like the CBD. Because just think about it, if somebody's eating a bunch of sugar or products that are sugary, syrupy, and that kind of thing on a frequent basis, if they're eating foods that are a lot of fried foods and foods that promote inflammation, then it's going to be, the products are not going to provide them with the greatest results that,
Dr. Betty,
yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I want to get this in before you have to cut off. Is there any indication that taking Endocalix Pro will interact with drugs that a person is already taking, like high blood pressure, blood clot medicine, or anything like that?
I had that conversation with Dr. Thomas, and no, there are no contraindications that are known. However, as with any additions to your regimen, even if it's supplements, vitamins, and that kind of thing, it's a good idea to take them apart from your medication. An
All right.
hour, an hour
Okay.
or more, yeah, before or after.
Okay, I think Anita is trying to get in. I'll go ahead.
Anita,
Thanks, doctor.
you're welcome. Anita, did you have something to say? No. Okay, guys. Well, I want to thank everybody for their input, and I hope that you were able to glean some more information about ways to increase your knowledge base, as well as to information to utilize in educating your customers, your family, and your friends about our products. And I look forward to our next meeting on.
Dr. Betty, Dr. Betty, excuse me,
Yes.
please,
Yes.
before Dr. Ross come on real quickly. When will Dr. Thomas be back on?
He's not scheduled to be back on, but if you guys request it, I will definitely ask him.
Is there any way that he can come back on next Tuesday? Because I have some people that I would like to have on with him.
I
And-
will see how that can play out, and yeah, we'll see what we can do about that.
Okay.
We do have some other topics that people are really interested in. One thing you might want to do is get their questions, so hold up, wait a minute. So now, in the event that we can't, you do know that his presentations were recorded.
Okay, his presentation was recorded. Okay.
They're all recorded. So Betty, what you do is you can go to your app, your Akana app, and go to recordings. And under recordings, you can, let me see, under recordings, they are classified. His was in the product overview by the wellness experts.
Okay.
Because they're listed in categories, the morning meetings, the SOS meetings, Save Our Strands meetings, the Thursday night calls, the Tuesday night calls, which are ours. And they're listed there. You can go, she actually has the dates and the topics there. So you can go there, you can pull up those recordings and you can share those recordings.
Okay.
In the event that he doesn't have time to come back live, because there are other topics that people want to hear about too. So I don't want to wear him out. So those are some ways that you could definitely share. You could have a listening party.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Okay.
you could have a Zoom with your customers, your friends, your family, as it relates to that one particular product.
Okay. Okay.
And show the video.
Okay.
You know what I
Great
mean?
idea. Great idea.
Awesome.
Great.
Okay, guys, it is
Dr. Betty.
8:01. Yes.
Dr. Betty, I had put a question in the chat. Could you answer it for me, please?
Oh, did you, AJ? Hold on, let me see. Happy belated Mother's Day to everybody. Oh, there are a bunch of chats in there. Okay.
Thank you.
But then again, I always say Mother's Day is every day because
Always.
mothering never ends.
Never,
Sure
never.
doesn't.
Name of nature that the lady is giving her dog. Oh, so you could use the power CBD, power culinary oil. So we have a 500 milligram culinary oil, and then we have the the large bottle of the culinary oil, which has 1,000 milligrams in it. So I think it would depend on the size of your dog, because if you needed to give the dog, and I'm just throwing this out, if you need to give the dog 10 milligrams or 20 milligrams, depending on the size of the dog, then you could pretty quickly go through that 15 milliliter bottle, as opposed to the, I think it's a liter, if I'm not mistaken, bottle that has the 1,000 milligrams in there. You could give a teaspoon and still have more to give. A little more cost effective, I think. Okay. Is that the question
Thank
you're
you.
talking about, AJ?
Yes, ma'am. Yep, thank you.
Okay, yeah. We still sell coffee. No, we don't. We're working on a new formula. So hopefully that will be available soon. But we no longer have the flat belly coffee. Flat belly brew, I should say.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Awesome. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for coming. Dr. Roz, you out there?
Thank you, Dr. Betty.
There she is. Take it away, Dr. Roz.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome.